Oh, these are my self-watering grow buckets. They've got a built-in capillary irrigation system, and that's plumbed into this kind of reservoir tank there, which is fed from a water butt, so that gives it a little bit of pressure. And then there's a float valve that opens and closes just to kind of regulate the water level. So what I've got is this 21.5mm outside diameter PVC overflow pipe, and then I've connected that in. There's a straight line, a straight run of pipe there that's actually built into this raised bed, and that feeds these buckets as well. And then currently I've just left a little upstand there. That's the end of the run. And then what I'm going to do is in the next planter I'm going to continue that with the same kind of self-watering bucket. So you can just see the water level there, and then you can see the UPVC, and then I haven't actually got the structure in there, but then that's just the reservoir. So this one here, I've explained this before in a previous video, but there's timber in there, logs, there's a can that sort of stops the bigger debris from blocking up the overflow or the filler, there's capillary matting, and then I've got this sort of capillary tube, which is just cotton cardboard wrapped into a spiral, and then that's pushed inside a PET bottle, so that makes a kind of little cylinder that pops up through here. And then this is my sub base, which is just made out of reclaimed acrylic, so I laser cut those. So what I'm hoping to do with this, I've got these sort of wings sticking out, and this is a bit of an experiment really. So what I wanted to do is have these all permanently set up or plumbed in, and they're easy to maintain because they're all separate containers. So if you find that this is settling down a little bit, it's easy just to put some more material underneath that just to level it up. And what you could do is you could just put some more blocks of wood on there as well, just to maintain that level. So these buckets just lift off, and then you can see there's the same thing with the subfloor there, and there's holes underneath these. But what I'm kind of umming and ahhing about doing this, but I know these work really well as wicking containers, because I set these up previously, but they were just one single container. So whereas these ones are different, because the irrigation part, the capillary part and the reservoir is a separate vessel, and then the grow bucket itself just sits on top. So you can see there's the wicking fabric and the cotton, so it sits on there nicely. So it's got a nice sort of environment for soil life, and it just maintains that bit of moisture in the soil. So whereas the mulch in here, because this is in the polytunnel, it was quite dry and there was red ants, and the organic matter just hadn't broken down to the same extent as when it was outside with all the moisture and the rain. So what I'm thinking of doing is, and what's quite nice about this is you can sort of control the level of irrigation and how much capillary action you get by having these little wings, and I'm just going to think of fanning them out into the soil or to the compost, so then that maintains a little bit of moisture around here, and it's wicking up the moisture from that container. So ideally, even though these are cut down 25 litre containers, then you can get maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 litres in each one. I don't really want to have plants sitting in there on kind of what you call it really, anaerobics, or water without very much oxygen. So what I want to do is I want to cycle this irrigation maybe once a month or something like that, so it's continuously feeding new water in there, and that will run on a timer, so it won't just be maintaining the level at the top. Once these are emptied, then ideally I want that moisture to come back again and top this system up. So I'm kind of losing my train of thought here, but so what I thought you could do is you could have various number of these capillary wings just jutting out into the surrounding soil, just to kind of ensure that the water in those reservoirs is being sort of used up by the plants, and it's sort of continuously replenished. So what I could do is with these things, I could change the interval on the timer so it could fill up once a week or twice a month or every other day or something like that. So it gives you that regulation. And alternatively, if there's I don't think there's not going to be too much moisture, because with capillary action, it's only the kind of air spaces and the gaps in the soil that's wicking the moisture. So it's not going to become waterlogged, because once it's saturated, or once it's holding that maximum kind of capacity of moisture, it's not going to wick up anymore. And already I think this is looking so much better and so much healthier, and having this extra depth as well, it's really quite nice. So what I'm thinking of doing in here is growing in the surrounding bed, but then some larger plants I'll be able to swap those buckets around. So if I've got something in here over wintering, I can grow it in here and it's self-watering, and then I can take out the bucket, put it outside. If it's going to be a late frost, I can bring it back in, so it gives you that sort of control and that flexibility. So I've got to just finish this off with some more of the fence posts, just to bring the level up, and then I'll fill this up with compost as well. That's quite a nice system. I think it's going to work well.